as the department, we're very aware around the impact on victims, and that's why one of the key priorities that we've been working on is building up that victim liaison team, making sure that victims are really at the heart of what we do, because they are so incredibly impacted. So we were very aware that this would be upsetting for victims, but we were also working to a timeline that we weren't creating. So I think that put a difficult situation in terms of the short notice period, and it's certainly something I'm sorry for, but it's also something that unfortunately we couldn't have made longer just by virtue of it being out of our control.
Was obviously there has been some publicity. People have got in touch with us and others about sort of half an hour even of being told that it was happening to a press release going out. Was that everybody told? Because certain family members have also claimed they were blindsided and didn't know until the press told them.
So there was a piece of work done around which direct relatives and victims we would speak with, and that's the piece of work that was operationally led. It's not something that I was engaged with, but it's something that working, I have confidence in the victims team, and I know that that's something. This isn't a usual thing to happen. It's not a regular thing that happens every week. It's one of those things that can happen and should happen, because the process for us is around making sure that prisoners are held in custody in the right environment. So those prisoners were no longer a category that we can't hold here on the Isle of Man, and therefore the natural next step in order for us to retain control over both the interventions that we have in terms of looking to rehabilitate those prisoners, but also in having confidence around the parole process, because we retain the control once they're on the island, absolutely should stand with us. But equally, I do recognise that that's a challenge, because as if I was in those people's shoes, and I often try to put myself in people's shoes, I'd like them as far away as possible. That realistically isn't possible. We have a prison on the island, and we absolutely should be using our resources to make sure that we manage the risk, and that's what we're doing here.
Just touching on that victim liaison team, as well as obviously notifying the people, have they done any further work to reassure or perhaps provide some support?
So operationally, I don't know the answer to that question. I know that there's also issues around not giving information too soon, because equally there is a risk. We are bringing those people back to the island, and we can't give out details of who we're bringing necessarily in advance. We can't give, just as we've not confirmed to the media who people are. That's absolutely the way it should be. This is very much a risk-based process.
Doesn't that run the risk, though, of the Manx rumour mill once again at play? Because, of course, lots of names are being thrown around now, and more people potentially being thrown in a pretty fierce firing line.
Yeah, and I understand people want to know, but is it because it's in the public interest, or are the public interested? And I think there's a very fine balance on that line. I understand that people are interested in this, absolutely, but it's absolutely right we liaise with people who are directly affected. It's not right that we engage with the wider public on this. This is very much around risk management, and we feel that the risk can be better managed here for our prisoners.